everyone, it's Rachel. In today's tutorial, I want to show you how to create a fire spirit goddess using the Color Therapy app. If you want to follow along with me, search for this image under People, Rhythmic Gymnastics. You can also apply this tutorial to other subjects. Just look for a subject with a lot of movement and motion. So I wanted to first start off and just show you my inspiration for this. So Tooth Fairy posted this original coloring by Beatles Lover. I just loved all the colors and all the swirling smoke for this like fire goddess. Okay, first things first, let's tap in the background. So I'm using Dark Shades 2 palette, the fourth color on the top row, and just tapping it all in. Let's zoom in here now. We're gonna go over to the Glow palette and we're gonna use just the various colors from there to start outlining the subject. So let's go and use the airbrush tool. Let's do size 20 and opacity at 75. And coloring inside the lines mode is set to on. So I'm just gonna start to outline my subject just so I can see her better. And I'm just kind of following the edges of her outfit. And you can switch over to other colors too. Oranges and reds. I'm also adding some of these colors just straight into her dress, really loosely. And add some blue in here too, and some purple. And then for her hair, I might just lower the size down to like 1% and just start adding in some swirly curly streaks, just following those curves already there. Just be really vague about this. You can be really loose because we're gonna use the smear tool and blend everything. You can also use the same settings with the airbrush tool just to draw some lines in the dress and the clothing, etc. Just to add some movement. Now let's use the spray tool. Let's do size 35 and opacity at 45. And I'm going to use those same colors that we just did, sort of like the corresponding colors. So if I did pink here, I'm going to spray some pink around it. And I might turn off coloring inside the lines mode because we want to kind of bring that motion beyond the dress so it looks more magical. So I'm adding some colors all around. You can experiment with turning coloring inside the lines mode on or off. And there are some lines in the background that have motion too you can add. For her hands, I want to make it look like there's fire coming off, so I'm making the background behind the hands yellow, and I want her hands to be like kind of red, so it looks like bright fire kind of. You can also layer colors too and blend a little bit. Let's go ahead and use the smear tool now and blend everything. So I'm going to do size 25. So let's go ahead and blend everything. So I'm going to have coloring inside the lines mode off, and for her dress, I really just want to blend those colors down and swirl them around. And swirl up and down, make it look really magical. You can bring it really far around and keep curving. You can even bring her feet down. So spend some time on this part. You can really do a lot with the smear tool, just blending it and making it curve around, swirling, coming off of her body because she's full of mystical energy. And even like for her hands, you can blend her fingers upward maybe, and then swirl that all around. You can add more color in too if you want. And her hair too, just bringing it all around. Let's use the airbrush tool again. Let's do size 1 and opacity 80. And you can just add some colorful lines all over. So I want to add some more movement into her hands. Just some swirly lines. And same with her hair. More swirly lines. Lots of movement. And in her dress too. You can even bring those lines over and across and down all around. It doesn't have to be, it can be totally ambiguous however you want to do it. Just make sure you go with the movement. And then I would zoom in on some of those lines. Let's make it kind of thicker. And then barely overlapping. It'll create a neat effect. And overlapping her leg and just bringing some swirls down. Let's go back to the spray tool. Let's do size and opacity at 50. And just use the same sort of colors we just did and kind of blend those lines you just did and just kind of fade areas. So you go back and forth and you can do either coloring inside the lines mode on or off. It's up to you, just which areas you're working in. Just experiment with it. And then I would also go to the airbrush tool, size 23 and opacity at 55. And with black, you can also fade in some areas. So I would do like the edges with coloring inside the lines mode off. And then I would do coloring inside the lines mode on, and you can add some shadows to her body. So where shadows would naturally be is what I would do. And then also in between the layers of fabric here and there, and maybe like behind her back so she pops out more. This is a super fun way to make a colorful goddess. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, Don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.